you guys are excited as much as I am. I'm filled with so much joy because today is the main day where we show you what we stand for, which is to promote the ingenuity and creativity amongst undergraduates across Africa. Do not forget that this is Nigeria's largest undergraduate design competition. I am the quintessential corporate. My name is AB Akins, and I'm going to be the master of ceremony and the host of today's event. Today, we're going to be watching the 5 finalists pitch their design ideas, and we're also going to be having a giveaway. We're also going to be listening to questions from the judges. But right about now, we're about to start off officially. I would like to listen to the welcome address from the president of the University of Lagos Engineering Society. His name is Jamal Adeyemi, as he gives us his welcome speech.
Good day, everyone. First, I would like to appreciate everyone for taking out of their precious time to be part of this ingenious event. It was great pleasure that I welcome you all to the virtual Professor Ayodele Awojobi Design Competition 4.0 Grand Finale. The global pandemic had made us acknowledge the new normal, which led to the commencement of the first ever virtual PAADC Grand Finale since its inception. PAADC is a national design competition which has given opportunities to students in different tertiary institutions across the country during this pandemic to come up with great innovative STEM ideas for the COVID-19 Innovation Challenge. As the current ULES president, I am happy with the tremendous progress PAADC has made since its inception. I also congratulate all the finalists as they are all winners regardless. Welcome once again, Jamal Adeyemi. Thank you very much.
I can't show myself taking it off.
Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in to watch the PAADC 4.0. Some fabulous stuff we've seen so far, and some very interesting presentations from the different participants. They said I should do a sponsored address, and I'm not going to do that. Be tough at this point as you progress in your lives, both personally and at work. The other thing I wanted to mention is how you look at things in terms of your groups. People have a herd mentality, and university is supposed to teach you how to be a critical thinker. And I was talking with a friend yesterday just about critical thinking. Everyone feels more comfortable following the group and following what everyone else is doing and following what the majority are doing. And that is not always the best way. The Americans, as usual, they're always doing studies, all sorts, every now and then. And there was a very popular study that was done. A group of 100 people were shown 2 lines. One line was shorter than the other, very obviously shorter than the other. And they deliberately had the first few people say that the shorter line was longer. And would you believe that almost 70% of the people that followed also agreed that the shorter line was longer when it was obviously shorter? Why did they do this, you might ask? Simple, they just were afraid of going against what the majority of people were saying. The point I'm trying to make is take time to think about things before you act, before you speak, before you make decisions. Don't do something just because everyone's doing it. It's not always going to be the right way. And university is supposed to teach you to be able to think by yourself and make decisions by yourself. And don't be afraid to do so. Sometimes you're going to be wrong, and that's fine. and a lot of the times things will actually work out. The last point before I let you get on with the fabulous event is about connections and networks and meeting people. Take as many opportunities as you can to meet as many people as you can, because those relationships that you cultivate now are going to end up paying dividends as well as you progress in your career and in your lives and in your schooling and things of that nature. It's been a weird year. A lot of us have said we want to reboot, but 2020 has given us the opportunity to do this in a very different way. And I'm sure you're all interested to see how it's going to end. 2021, we're sure is going to be a much more interesting year. Probably not with the same hiccups and ups and downs. Everyone will be back to university, back to school, back to our lives in the way we all know it. We won't have to carry these around, hopefully soon, by the time a vaccine is out. And yeah, just go out there and kill it, really, both with PAADC and with the rest of your lives. Thank you very, very much, everyone. It's been a fantastic time with this team, and I'm so proud of the PAADC guys, Moni and all his crew. I know a few of you by name, but it's been fantastic, and I'm really proud of all of you and the work you've done. It's very professional, and thank you all.
very much. I'd like to say hello to all our judges who are online right now and hello to everybody who's watching right now. This is still the 4th edition of the Professor Ayodele Our Job Design Competition. And this year our theme is Design Beyond Limits. Do not forget that we are with the sole purpose of promoting ingenuity, creativity amongst undergraduate students across Nigeria. Very soon we intend to go global. Thank you also to Mr. Otumba Akimbo, who just spoke to us shortly before we watched the video of the event judges. He's the MD of Kawai Technologies, and the Kawai Technology is one of our major sponsors for this year. And we'd like to say thank you. We appreciate your words, the kind words towards us. Before we watch a video showing us the teams that qualified for the final stage, I'd like to say congratulations again to all the applicants and everybody that got to the application stage and also got to the shortlisting stage. I'd like to mention the 5 teams that qualified for the final stage. We hope that one of them would be taking up the crown from last year's winner. That's Team Hive from the University of Ibadan. We also have people from the University of Ibadan this year, but let me quickly go through the 5 finalists that qualified this year. First of all, if you are right now watching on YouTube Live, we'd like you to show your support by just dropping an emoji for whatever team I mentioned right now. So the first team I'd like to recognize is Team Eden from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So just drop an emoji right now on the YouTube comment section to show you're following us. Secondly, I'd like to officially welcome the next team, Team Elixir from University of Ibadan, prestigious University of Ibadan. That's the school where we have the defending champions from last year. And also again from the University of Ibadan, we have Team U9. Okay, so University of Ibadan came really prepared this year that 2 of their team members qualified for the final stage. And for the 4th team on the final stage is Team Stark from University of Lagos. So I want to see the comments rolling right now on the YouTube comment section to show that you're supporting these teams. And finally, from Copenhagen University, Team Sage from Copenhagen University. So I don't know who you're rooting for, but make sure you're following us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at PAADC_official. There's definitely going to be a giveaway session as the program commences. So make sure you're following right now. And we're also going to be announcing the winners of yesterday's giveaway contest. And I'd like to say thank you to all our sponsors who have been supporting us from the first day, which was yesterday. From Kawai Technologies to Tangerine Live, Platform Africa, Iroko TV, the Afara Initiative, Visual Collaborative, AB Original, that's Ab Original, I beg your pardon, and Sahara Group. Thank you guys for supporting us. Right about now, we'd like to watch a video of the finalists showing us a recap of all they done. Let's check it out. This is a recap from the finalists.
Indiscriminate dumping of refuse in unauthorized places creates illegal dump sites that pose grave threats to the household and settlement nearby. Now, how much longer can this continue? Nigerians must begin to recycle.
The percentage of unemployed Nigerians in the labor force by 2015 was 10.4%. By 2018, it had risen to 23.1%, more than doubled within 3 years. And now, the latest statistics shows that the Nigerian unemployment rate has risen to a whopping 27.1% this year, 2020.
We, after much research and analysis of the waste management problem in Nigeria, came up with the Green Dream. The Green Dream is a smart waste recycling project that consists of the smart waste bin and the mobile app. The smart waste bin consists of 4 different components: the metals, plastics, paper, and bio-waste. The smart waste bin is powered by solar panels. It is airtight and equipped with antiperspirant to reduce foul odors.
Ability is a device which enables visually impaired people to write and save notes without hassles, save money on assistive technology, reach a wider audience as most people cannot read Braille. Our device can be interfaced with different types of computers, and it also has a text-to-speech feature.
D145
Cavity.
C14
Cavity.
4. Type number. I'll change the position of the slide switch. 4145 point 256
Period. Product 4.
and 0245.
Let's tell the story of numbers. Say we reduce the total number of youth workforce in Nigeria to just 10 people. 4 out of those 10 cannot get into the university because there just isn't any space for them. 2 of the remaining 6 are either in the wrong course or have lost interest in the course they are stuck with. 3 of the 4 people left are planning to move out of Nigeria, and just 2 might succeed.
One started as an online platform to bring the best course students in every part of the nation. Soon developed into an AI system that automatically analyzes courses and professions and personalizes it to each user.
After conducting surveys, we found out that learning online was difficult because of the various options that just didn't connect.
On our platform, the user only needs to select a particular career they want. The AI filters through the relevant courses, arranges them in a hierarchical manner, and creates a specialized path for that user to advance in his career without having to bother which course is right and which course is next.
According to the statistics given by the Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, invasive flora and weeds account for 15% of food wastages across the country. Spoilages and transportation also account for 25% of food wastages across the country. Here at Team Start, we developed a solution to this problem. And at the heart of our system is hydroponics. Hydroponics is a system of horticulture which involves planting without soils. Yeah, you heard right, planting without soils. We've also automated our system to be able to control temperature, humidity, and the most important factor of all, light and time. So we could plant anytime, anywhere, all year round without limitations.
Our enclosure is a space which allows us to grow plants without using soil. We have a series of pipes and hoses connected to a reservoir of water. Flow is generated by a pump. Within each pipe are 4 holes. These holes house net cups in which our plant seeds are placed. Now, as a mixture of water and nutrients flow through each pipe, the plants absorb nutrients directly from the mixture and grow without the need for soil.
A country with significant history, a nation of beautiful contrast, home to diverse cultures and languages, a land rich in nature, color, music, and food. Sadly, our beautiful nation is faced continuously with cases of periodic floods due to heavy rains with no escape routes as a result of blocked drainages.
Our solution is PAADC, a social enterprise focused on transforming single-use plastics and nylon waste combined with sand into sustainable building materials that are cost-effective and durable. Its production process removes with melting waste plastics at a temperature of 260 degrees Celsius using our PET liquefier machine. After this, sand is integrated at a predetermined ratio to improve fire resistance and overall compressive strength. This mixture is heated and stirred to a composite mix which is poured in a unique design mold that separates our PET bricks from others.
Thank you very much. I feel goosebumps already because I feel like all the teams absolutely qualified to win, but bulk of the job won't be done by me, but by the judges. So I'd like to recognize the judges from Mrs. Folusho Baramosi. Thank you very much. You're already here with us. Mrs. Rolayo Akibe, thank you so much. And Mrs. Lara Rabiu, I see you're already online with us. Thank you. Mr. Dipo Faulkner, thank you so much for being with us. Mr. Amoche Eminari, thank you. And finally, Mr. Ade Ulufeko, thank you so much. These are the judges for today. They will be deciding who would be the next winner for the PAADC 4.0 edition. I look forward to seeing what they have for their pitches, and that is what they're going to be doing right now. And immediately everything is done, we're going to be giving chance to the judges to ask questions, but the teams do not get to reply immediately after they ask the question. The team to have like a couple of minutes to go back, prepare, and come back individually as a team to answer the question. So we're going to be listening, watching the first team as they pitch their ideas, and I'd like everybody to pay attention because you also stand a chance to pick your favorite team, and by picking this team, they also stand a chance of winning something. I will not let the cat out of the bag right now, but first of all, let's watch the first team as they pitch their idea. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit back, fasten your seatbelt as we watch the first team, Team Eden from University of Nigeria, pitch their idea. Let the PAADC begin.
According to statistics from Africa Check, Nigeria produces about 32 million tons of solid waste every year, and only 20 to 30% of this waste is properly collected and disposed. Now, this means that 22 to 25 million tons of unrecycled waste, one way or the other, make their way back to us. Now, streets are littered with refuse. Drainage system gets blocked and cause flooding. Examples are images seen at Aboki Crescent in Surulere, Lagos, where waste clogged in the drainage were forced out due to intense rainfall. Now, this waste contaminates our waterways, which cause widespread of disease and extinction of aquatic life. Now, the indiscriminate dumping of refuse in unauthorized places creates illegal dump sites that pose great threat to the household and settlements nearby. All right, now how much longer can this continue? Nigerians must begin to recycle.
We, the members of Team Eden, after much research and analysis of the waste management problem in Nigeria, came up with the Green Dream. The Green Dream is a smart waste recycling project that consists of the smart waste bin and the mobile app. The smart waste bin consists of 4 different components: the metals, plastics, paper, and bio waste. The smart waste bin is powered by solar panels. It is airtight and equipped with antiperspirant to reduce foul odors. It is also built with LEDs to aid our users at night. The Green Dream Smart Waste Bin's compartment has sensors that alert the retrieval agent when one compartment is full. Using the GPS and cloud system, our retrieval agent receives useful information and directions from the smart waste bin that sends the signal. The Google mapping system on the Green Dream app helps our retrieval agents navigate through the traffic effectively. Recycle points called waste coins are rewarded to our clients as incentives for recycling with Green Dream. These recycle points are built on the blockchain technology.
Green Dream would initially be introduced in public centers like schools, churches, and industries. Now, in these public centers, Green Dream agents would hold seminars and campaigns to enlighten individuals on Green Dream and the need for recycling. Now, once Green Dream has formed for itself a solid foundation and has become a pervasive concept in the society, we will begin to introduce household waste bin systems. Now, these household waste bin systems are the waste bins that you guys can use in your personal homes. Green Dream also aims at reducing the number of dump sites in the society by having special retrieval agents go to these dump sites and collect recyclable materials for us. They will do so with the aid of personal protective equipment like hand gloves, nose masks, and rubber gloves. Once they gather all the recyclable materials, they will send it straight to our storage facility. The smart waste bins come in different sizes. The small size for households, medium for public centers and streets, and the large size for industries. The smart waste bins will be sold at 70,000 naira for small size, 110,000 naira for medium size, and 160,000 naira for large industrial size. The recycling materials gathered will be sold to recycling companies, farms, and industries based on their weight. Scrap metal will be sold at 30,000 naira per ton. Aluminium will be sold at 80,000 naira per ton. Paper will be sold at 20,000 naira per ton. Bio waste will be sold at 10,000 naira per 50 kilogram bag, and plastic will be sold at 30,000 naira per ton. The recycling chain is a never-ending one. As long as people continue to exist and produce waste, we would continue to get our profits.
Who is a Green Dream Retrieval Agent? A retrieval agent is an individual who ensures regular and timely collection of recycling materials from individual households. How to identify a Green Dream Retrieval Agent? A Green Dream Retrieval Agent is branded with the company's name and is a certified employee of Green Dream. To know a Green Dream Retrieval Agent, watch out for the green baseball cap with the company's logo,
the green vest with company's logo, the name tag with the retriever agent's name and company logo.
The demand for recycling materials has significantly increased over the years. Green Dream will sell recyclable materials such as metal scraps, paper, plastic, glass, and the likes to recyclable companies and industries that need them. Our app also accommodates paid adverts such as Google Ads. Businesses and companies will pay us to advertise on a mobile application. In a bid to go green and reduce our carbon footprint, our retrieval agents will not make use of carbon-forward power trucks or vehicles. Instead, they'll be making use of electric vehicles, as one designed by the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. These electric vehicles will be modeled to suit our projects, having large compartments for the refuse that will be collected and also be branded in the company's name. They'll be called green vans. With the help of the mapping system in our app, these vans will be used very efficiently. Our app will provide the retrieval agents with the destination and the quickest route to their destination.
The percentage of unemployed Nigerians in the labor force by 2015 was 10.4%. By 2018, it had risen to 23.1%, more than doubled within 3 years. And now, the latest statistics shows that the Nigerian unemployment rate has risen to a whopping 27.1% this year 2020 and is projected to rise to about 30% within the next 5 years. Green Dream offers job opportunities, and our aim is to reduce unemployment rate in Nigeria by providing jobs to Nigerian youths who can work with us as our retrieval agents. Also, according to statistics, 15 to 20% of Nigerian citizens understand the need for recycling, and below 3% of the entire country's citizens actually practice recycling. Green Dream aims at promoting awareness of the need for recycling in Nigeria and to ensure that more Nigerians recycle.
Imagine a nation where recycling is no longer something foreign. Instead, it's culture.
To some people, Green Dream is a means of earning a living. To others, a means of earning waste coins. To everyone, a means of changing our country, Nigeria.
And step by step,
bin by bin,
we would achieve the Green Dream. This is Project 2023.
We are Team Eden.
Let's tell a story of numbers. Say we
Absolutely amazing there by Team Eden. We hope that the Green Dream will be achieved very soon. We'd like to listen to the judges if they have questions. So I'd like to start with Mrs. Folusho Badamosi. Please, ma'am, do you have any questions for Team Eden?
Hello, good afternoon. Yes, I have just one question. So as they were presenting, they mentioned that they want to make use of the blockchain technology. And I was a bit curious as to how they intend to make use of the blockchain.
Okay.
That's the only question I have. Well done, Team Eden. Great job.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Folusho. I'd like to listen to Mrs. Rolayo Akibe. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Team Eden?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I do. I just have one question. Well, two, actually. You know, when they're presenting, first of all, fantastic idea. Well done. Solving the environmental challenges is definitely something that needs to be done. But one thing that wasn't really clear to me from the business side was actually the business model, because they talked about having the recycling containers, and then they talked about having the agent. So what's the tie-up between the two? So that didn't really come out clearly to me. And then also when you're talking about when you have it, you want to sell this packages, the containers, you know, how is that going to happen? Because obviously they talked about the pricing. So you have the pricing model, but how do you intend to sell and how do you intend to scale this up? So I guess I have three questions. That the business model didn't really come out. I see the solution, yes, but as far as the business goes, I didn't really see that come out very strongly. So I just need them to help me understand that better.
All right, thank you very much. Listen to Ms. Lara Rabiu. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Team Eden?
Yes, I have two questions. One is a follow-up from the one. Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead, ma'am. We can hear you.
Okay. The first one is similar to the one she just asked about the pricing model, but also the cost structure of the product. That's one. Number two, who are their competitors? And where do they see this company getting to in 5 years? So what is the growth trajectory of this company?
Thank you very much. I'm very sure Team Eden is taking notes of all those questions, and they're definitely going to respond to it after every other team pitches. But still, let's listen to Mr. Deepak Faulkner if he has any questions, sir.
Good afternoon.
I have 3 questions, but one of them is already been asked, which is around what you call either the business model or the financial model, and how sustainable is this? It would be my first question. My second question would be ask the team if they've carried out any feasibilities around this. What was the outcome of that feasibility study with regards how it's going to impact implementation? My third one is around the mobile app. I saw a mobile app, but wasn't very clear what the usage of mobile app would be or how it would be integrated within the entire solution itself. So those are my 3 questions.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I'm sure they are taking note of the question. Let's listen to Mr. Amauchi Emenari. Sir, what's your question for Team Eden? Mr. Amauchi, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Definitely, we can hear you. Please, your questions.
So I actually have 3 questions as well. So sorry to pile on. This was a great presentation. I think you guys are handling or addressing a very, very important problem. So congratulations for that. Congratulations for putting it together in such a good format. My 3 questions are, 1, have you looked at other funding sources? I would think that if you're trying to tackle the problem of recycling, there are probably maybe governmental grants or some other ways, maybe even international sources that'll give you money in order to sort of get a program like this up and running. Also, you mentioned there's a difference between the knowledge around recycling and its importance and the amount of people who are actually recycling. Can you talk more about why you think there's a difference between people who think it's important, yet they choose not, or they aren't recycling? And finally, are there any other recycling models that have either existed in the country or currently exist there that are being implemented that you thought to look into in order to determine how they succeeded and how they failed?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Uche. Please would like you to kindly increase your volume if you're asking a question next time, because it's really low, we couldn't hear it clearly, but I feel like the team Eden has been able to pick the question. So finally, we're going to listen to Mr. Ade Olufeko if he has a couple of questions for Team Eden.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Definitely, sir.
Okay, all right, cool. Congratulations, Team Eden. I think this is a fantastic initiative you have. The problem with being one of the last judges is that everybody's already asked all the great questions. So, but the question I do have is that this initiative you have is it looks like it's more of you're more beneficial to the private sector, but also the public sector. What type of partnerships have you looked at? Have you spoken to any of the local governments, any of the House of Reps, or any individual who's you can have much easier access to their offices? Also, within the Pan-African state, you have other cities similar to that have these type of models. This initiative ties to the Global Sustainable Goals by the UN, United Nations. And I think that it'd be good to know how far and what efforts you guys have made. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ade. We appreciate your contribution. We'll be listening to the next team pitch their ideas right now. So please, for those watching on YouTube Live right now, we'd like you to please drop a comment to encourage this team, because I'm sure they are working so hard right now to reply all the questions from the judges. So we're going to be listening to the next team from the University of Ibadan. Please, let's pay attention to Team Elixir.
Hi everyone, I am John Orioke, Design Lead of Elixir Impact. At Elixir Impact, we design, develop, and deploy low-cost and efficient technologies to solve societal problems. We are currently developing a product to help the visually impaired communicate better and contribute to the Nigerian economy. We found that visually impaired students at the Department of Special Education, University of Ibadan, use the Perkins Braille to braille their notes. This typewriter is unknown to other Nigerian students who still use the less efficient braille slates and stylus. Yet, the Braille slate and stylus, and even the Perkins Brailler, apart from offering little assistance, come with some problems. For instance, the Perkins Brailler costs about 300,000 naira, making it quite challenging to purchase for personal use. In addition, the Perkins Brailler produces noise just like the typical typewriter. More so, Braille notes are highly inconveniencing as they are not portable to carry around. Finally, communication is difficult since not everyone can read Braille.
Hello, I'm Tosin, team lead of Elixir Impact. What solution are we proposing to the problem that John has stated? Our solution is Brelixia. Brelixia is a device which enables visually impaired people to write and save notes without hassles, save money on assistive technology, reach a wider audience as most people cannot read Braille. Our device can be interfaced with different types of computers, and it also has a text-to-speech feature.
I am Joseph Akinladi, the firmware engineer of Elixir Impact. I will be describing in detail our solution, Brelixia. Here is the proposed final design for Brelixia. Brelixia is made up of 9 buttons, which includes 6 for characters, 1 for space button, 1 for backspace, and 1 for caps lock. It also includes a slide switch for switching between alphabets and numbers. The buttons for characters are labeled 1 to 6 as shown in the image. By pressing different key combinations, the corresponding alphabets are obtained. For example, the letter A is typed with only .1, letter E is typed with only .1 and 5. Here is a brief demonstration of Brelixia. So I'll be typing PAADC 4.0. Key 1, 2, 3, 4.
Camping.
A 1.
Camping.
D 145.
Camp D.
C 14.
Camp C.
4. To type the number, I'll change the position of the slide switch. 4 145.
4.
Point 256.
Period. Hot 4.
And 0 245.
0. Space.
And then we have
Hot 4.0.
We are looking to join in achieving the United Nations SDGs 4, 8, and 10. Currently, about 1.2 million visually impaired people live in Nigeria, out of which 37.45% are between the ages of 0 to 49, and this is our target market. Our channels of distribution are educational institutions, philanthropists, and NGOs who could help us reach wider audience as they go. We are using the business-to-business approach. The cost price of 1 unit of Brelixia is 50,000 naira, and the selling price is 65,000 naira. So we are looking at a revenue of 65 million naira per annum if we're able to reach 1,000 people. Compared to other competitors like the Perkins Brailler, Smart Brailler, or Braille Sense, our device is cost-effective, affordable, and braillesser. At Elixir Impact, we believe in ability in disability. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Team Alexa. We listened to your pitch, we've listened to how we've watched videos of your ideas. We'd like to listen to questions that the judges have for you. So we'll start with Mrs. Lara Rabiu. Ma'am, what questions do you have for Team Alexa?
Hi, great job, Tim. This was great. And the question I had, one second. The question what I had was about the addressable market. You stopped at the point where you just talked about how many visually impaired people are in Nigeria, but it would be interesting to know how many people can afford your product before you drill down to who your target market is. So if you know that, that would be great to know. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms.
Am I next?
I can't hear anything. Can anybody hear anything?
Okay, Mr. Uche is here.
Okay.
Okay.
We need anything for a second there. Okay, this is a great presentation. I think it's very much an underserved market. I think many people who want something like this aren't necessarily people who will be building it. So I congratulate you guys for sort of looking into this and working on a project of this style. I only have two questions for you guys. Number one, once someone buys the Perkin Brailer, so imagine an educational institution is already invested in this. Can you tell me more about what the cost is of maintenance of these devices, of the original Perkins Brailer, and what is the end of life? How long does the Perkins Brailer last for them? Because I think this will sort of speak to how many they're willing to repurchase. If they've already invested in Perkins Brailers, whether or not they're switching to your product is something they will do by throwing away their current product, right? So I want to hear more about how you expect them to sort of think about the end of life of the current products they have in order to buy your own. And second question is portability. You mentioned that as a downside of the current system. My question to you is, when you create a device that is portable, what happens to the longevity of the device as well? If it's being moved from one place to another, maybe that might sort of influence how long the device can actually be in use. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Uche. Let's move to Mr. Adeolufeko. So what questions do you have for Team Elixir? We can't hear you, sir. Probably you have your microphone muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah. You see, your facial expression says you have a lot to ask.
Well, my question would be the target audience. They did make the team great job, made good use of the percentages. The question I have is, what kind of research has the team done? Now we start with Nigeria, and I do know that visually impaired falls under disability, and there's little information out there in the public that says that there is funding on the federal level. Access to funding could be an issue, but how far has the team gone to find out how to secure some funding based on this invention that they have? And then the second question I have is just basically the maintenance and end of life. Like how long can a product be used for, which I think the previous judge asked. But those are my two questions as well. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ade. Let's listen to Mrs. Polusho Godamosi. Ma'am, I'm sure you have questions for Team Alexa after watching the video. What are your questions for them?
Okay, so most of the questions have actually already been asked, but I was just curious. Well, I need to also add this was a really good presentation as well. I like that you have very clear goals that you guys are trying to achieve. However, I wonder, are there any local competitors? So the competitors that you mentioned are foreign companies. Could you let us know if there's any local ones and what the price point is compared to yours, which is going to be selling at 65,000 Naira? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Polusho. Let's listen to Mrs. Rolayo Akibe. Ma'am, any questions for Team Alexa?
Yes, I do. Hi, everyone. Fantastic presentation. I love the fact that you're addressing a real problem. But I do have, it may seem like a basic question, and maybe I'm assuming, but I'd like to know, did they actually test this solution with anyone who's actually visually impaired? Because sometimes we have a situation where we're creating products for people, assuming it will work, but it may not. So I would like to know if they've actually tested that. Has a visually impaired person actually even tried to use that? And then another thing is they talked about the cost in terms of it being cheaper, but since it's a device and it has to be attached to something else. So by the time you take the cost of the device and then the cost of the actual laptop or whatever it is that has to be attached to, how does that impact the total cost? Right? Does that, I mean, what's the implication? And then since there has to be a tie-up, since it's a device on its own, have they actually talked to any manufacturers to do like a tie-up, to do like a bundle so you can get the laptop or desktop or whatever with the device at a bundled, combined bundled fee? So that would be my question, or my two questions. Thank you. But it was really good presentation.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Dikwa, I don't know if you have any questions for them too.
Okay, I have two questions, just like all the judges have said. I think was a really good presentation. My two questions are, one, they mentioned the fact that the NGOs will be, they'll use NGOs as a distribution channel for their products. And my question around is, how do you intend to form partnership with these NGOs, considering your drive to make profit from this product as well? Second is, how do you intend to test the product to ensure usability and functionality? It's still in very raw state right now, but how do you intend to improve that? Test it for for usability and functionality.
All right, so thank you very much. I'm sure Team Elixir has noted all the questions being asked by our judges, and when they come back, they will be responding to these questions. By then, they will just have 3 minutes to respond to all those questions. But before we listen to the response from the team, we'll still have like 3 more teams to pitch their ideas, and I'm sure we're enjoying what we're saying. Please do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at PAADC_official. Let's listen to Team Unite from University of Ibadan, what they have for us.
Story of numbers. Say we reduce the total number of youth workforce in Nigeria to just 10 people. 4 out of those 10 cannot get into the university because there just isn't any space for them. 2 of the remaining 6 are either in the wrong course or have lost interest in the course they are stuck with. 3 of the 4 people left are planning to move out of Nigeria, and just 2 might succeed.
That means Nigeria is left with just 2 in every 10 youth workforce, and those 2 people aren't even trained to compete globally in this ever-changing space.
What started as an online platform to bring the best course students in every part of the nation soon developed into an AI system that automatically analyzes courses and professions and personalizes it to each user.
After conducting surveys, we found out that learning online was difficult because of the various options that just didn't connect.
On our platform, a user only needs to select the particular AI filters through the relevant courses, arranges them in an hierarchical manner, and creates a specialized path for that user to advance in his career without having to bother which course is right or which course is next.
A popular phrase among the workforce is the future of work, which refers to countless debates of what skill, technology, or course would be relevant in the rapid changing global space. What this means for students is that they are often confused and don't know what exactly to learn.
Our platform is designed to monitor little to significant changes in the industry. The system automatically alters users' learning path based on these changes. What that means is it's been one step ahead of the future of work.
We believe that learning should be dynamic, and we understand how interest-based user takes. The platform searches for correlations and matches that with patterns in the industry. It then suggests possible career options that the user can choose to follow.
With our career insight option, users can understand career choices and make informed decisions. Users can browse through careers in different industries, get to know information like salary levels, competitiveness, companies that hire, years in profession, and much more.
That way, our platform prevents students from following careers that are redundant in Nigeria. After making a career choice, a user can easily take assessments or projects to understand where they stand in the industry, and then they can easily start learning to get to their dream level. Our learning platform will be integrated with deep learning models. These models are built of data sets passed through neural networks that help create specialized learning paths for students. By updating our neural networks consistently, the learning path would modify itself, and students would be able to keep up with the dynamic global space. It was very difficult for our team to curate datasets accurate enough to reflect the market space, as datasets in Nigeria range from poor to non-existent. We aim to solve this problem by building a dataset and integrating a data collection strategy built into the service lifecycle. We would work towards partnership with recruitment platforms to keep our datasets updated.
We are changing the game entirely, but we're curious, do our potential users feel the same way? So we carried out an experiment with a high-fidelity prototype of our web app. Without implementing any marketing strategies, we had a conversion rate of 60%.
We created a subscription button to see how many people will pay and how much they were willing to pay, and were able to validate our pricing strategy.
We are going to run a subscription type business model where a user pays 100 naira per course weekly and would get 40% of each subscription. With a 30% increase in user acquisition month over month, we project having 50,000 subscribers by the end of the first year of operations. We estimate our first year revenue to be over 10 million naira.
We beat our local competition as we're first to market, and we beat our international competition as we're an AI platform that reimagines the learning and career advancement experience while making the whole process hassle-free.
We intend to use 40% of the funds to implement our marketing strategies, 30% for operational costs, 20% for scaling and growth, and 10% for product development.
We know there is market potential in other African countries as our team has interacted with industry professionals from all over Africa. We were one of the few startups that participated in the African Innovation Week at the African Union headquarters, Addis Ababa. In the next 5 years, we plan to scale up business to other African countries and increase our yearly revenue to $500,000.
We would make every Nigerian have access to the opportunities that would allow them to lead a successful career.
We would change the Nigerian story and show just how much we can under the right environment.
We are going to revolutionize the Nigerian educational system, and we would love you to be a part of the success story.
Definitely, PAADC wants to be a part of this success story, and we hope this change is accepted and also embraced by everyone. Let's hear what Mrs. Lara Rabiu has to say about this pitch from Team Unite.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit biased about this one, given my line of work, but definitely this was a great presentation. A lot of overlap with our business. And I was super excited as I watched this video and what the future could hold in terms of collaboration. The two questions that I have with from this perspective is, again, a little bit deeper around the competition that they mentioned. They did talk about their local and global competitors, but they didn't really do any analysis on where are they better than these competitors and where are they worse off. The second question I have is, when they did the prototyping and the pilot, what did they find out that they changed about the product given that pilot?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Lara. Let's listen to Mr. Deepo Faulkner. So what do you have to ask the team to just share their ideas?
Okay, 2 questions. Again, another very good presentation. One is, where did they source their learning content and curriculum from? Because I'm sure they didn't create that from scratch. Second is, how did they ensure the accuracy of career data in Nigeria?
All right, thank you. Mrs. Foglushaw, what do you have to say to, after listening to Team Unite, you must definitely have a few questions.
Okay, another great presentation. Well done, everyone, so far. So I have 2 questions. The first one is, well, actually, some of them have already been asked, but the core, I guess, of my questions is, what is your unique selling point, right? So there's so many online educational platforms already all over the world, even within Africa. So what is your real unique selling point? And when you're answering that, like, kind of just focus on what that big one is. That's one. Second of all, do you have any plans to become accredited in any way, so that, those that do go through your platform and get educated can actually say that it is an accredited platform? That's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Mr. Ade, I'm sure you have questions for this team.
Great presentation. I have a few questions here. You spoke about partnering with recruiters, talked about looking at salaries, those type of details. Who have you worked with, and what has been a success rate? We live in a society where it's kind of hard to pay taxes. So when you're talking about disclosing salaries, career trajectories, and those kind of things, it'd be good to know what level of effort, what has been done, where have you failed, I think the failures are indicators what works and what doesn't work. The second thing, you talk about neural networks. I'm fortunate to be part of the Society for Neuroscience, where we study human brain UI and how we study how Africans interact with devices. Where do you get these data sets from? Which other institutions? I think some of the judges had already asked the questions. So if I had to put my questions, narrow my questions down, I would say that, how did the data sets get updated? What are the roadblocks you've experienced? I'm actually curious about what roadblocks. And the AI itself, I see it's an all male team. I would say that anything to do with AI should be modeled, should replicate or be similar to a woman's brain, because there's an empathy factor. So I hope my questions were clear. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Let's listen to Mrs. Rolayo. Ma'am, what questions do you have for them?
Again, fantastic presentation. I like the fact that they're trying to address, a real problem. I guess the question I have, which probably hasn't been asked yet, has to do with the fact that, this is meant to be an online course. So they've asked questions around the accreditation, but how long is each course actually meant to be? And since they're proposing 100 Naira a week model, what's the data cost? Because if it's online, that means whoever it is, a subscriber is going to be spending X amount in data. So how long is each course? Is it a 6-week or a 9-week course, or 1 hour each? That wasn't really clear. Is it standardized? And another thing is that the model that we're talking about, so this platform, is it still in, testing stage? Is it in beta stage, or does it exist? They mentioned that there was something they had done on the web, but does it actually exist right now? It'd be useful to understand how far they've gone with that. So those were the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope the teams are noting these questions. Let's listen to Mr. Uche. Do you have any questions for Team Unite?
I do. First of all, this is a great presentation. I'm a doctoral researcher, and my work sort of sits between AI and neuroscience. And we talk a lot about how this is going to influence the future of work. I'm also a lecturer, so thinking about education, this is sort of the thing I do literally on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. So I was really excited to hear this. I was really excited to see the work you guys put into it. So congratulations on that front. Very good job. All right, so I have 3 questions, and I think there's a little bit of overlap between some of the other judges because I'm going last. One, the platform, or at least the way you presented the platform, it seems to appeal to the students and their desire to learn and the type of learning they want to do. But traditionally, the curriculum is determined by accreditation and by industry. So accreditation determines that you're learning to a certain standard of quality, and industry sort of dictates what's useful, what's necessary, what's evolving, what's current. And I would think that people who get on your platform would want to ensure that they're getting an education that will be respected, as well as an education that could lead to work someday. Have you thought of sort of how you sort of bring in that type of branding so that people have this confidence that when they go on your platform, that this will actually translate to something meaningful and useful? Second question is, have you guys thought of starting with a specific industry? I don't know, I didn't get that really from the pitch, but if there was a focus within a specific industry out of all industries, there could be some value there. Have you guys considered what could that industry be? What would be first? And finally, this model seems to be appealing to people who are looking to go to school. You talked a lot about applying to university. And so at that age range, have you considered further education for people who are currently employed or people who currently have degrees? So sometimes the workforce is evolving and people want further education in order to change their skill set. So providing maybe courses that allow them to sort of learn different skills in order to improve their ability to move within their company could be important. And you could probably get the employer to pay for it. Have you considered a model that looks like that? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uche, for your time and your contribution. We hope that the Team Unite is taking notes of all those questions being asked by our judges. And do not forget, we would be giving you 3 minutes to respond to these questions later on, but we still have 2 more teams to pitch their ideas. I don't mean to be biased, but I'm really looking forward to this next 2 pitch presentation. Let's have firstly Tim Stack from University of Lagos share their ideas and pitch the innovations to us. Tim Stack from University of Lagos.
Hello, what comes to your mind when you think of agriculture? Baba Topen is very large farm in Ekiti. Yeah, Topen needing to take a loan of 200,000 to facilitate our farm in Ondo. What if we told you we could do without all this? According to the statistic given by the Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, invasive flora and weeds account for 15% of food wastages across the country. Spoilages and transportation also account for 25% of food wastages across the country. Why do we need to waste this amount of food? Here at Team Stars, we developed a solution to this problem. And at the heart of our system is hydroponics. Hydroponics is a system of horticulture which involves planting without soils. Yeah, you heard right, planting without soils. We've also automated our system to be able to control temperature, humidity, and the most important factor of all, light and time. So we could plant anytime, anywhere, all year round without limitations. In the desert, in the ice, in the mountain, planting can take place. So we present to you Team Stars.
I will be taking you through the design and automation of our idea. The system is designed to control and automate the process of controlling the environment the plants have to grow in. The system provides a nursery section for early germinating crops and the start section for plants with enough required rootlet. Both sections are supplied separately with recycled water supply in a closed loop. Once the plants are in the start, they're left to do what plants do best, to grow. On top of the system lies the water tank and nutrient tank. The control of supply from these tanks is handled by valve actuators, set and programmed using the onboard controller. The required volume of water required by start cycle, likewise the amount of nutrients needed per plant available, and the timing of each cycle delivery is used to control the frequency of supply of this mixture to the system. Upon exhaustion of the nutrients, the valves open again while the pump kicks in to resupply the water back to the water tank for recycling.
Our enclosure is a space which allows us to grow plants without using soil. We have a series of pipes and hoses connected to a reservoir of water. Flow is generated by a pump. Within each pipe are 4 holes. These holes house net cups which our plant seeds are placed. Now, as a mixture of water and nutrients flow through each pipe, the plants absorb nutrients directly from the mixture and grow without the need for soil. The flow starts from the reservoir, is set up by each pipe by hoses, and returns to the reservoir by means of return hoses. This is where the water-saving nature of this technology shines through, as opposed to traditional farming practices, where used water cannot be recovered and is lost to the soil. Our system runs on a closed loop, so the same water and nutrient mixture can be used again and again. The plants absorb what they need and nothing goes to waste. Inside this enclosure are a series of sensors which monitor temperature, humidity, the pH level of water, as well as other quantities. This data is collected by our microcontroller to ensure optimal conditions for plant growth. Our system also contains LEDs which helps to boost plant growth by supplying the ideal range of light spectrum each plant needs to grow.
Had the economical benefit of the stack model over traditional farming. 3 to 10 times increments in production rates with equal amounts of space as traditional farming. 2. Zero worries over climate conditions and planting seasons. Less use of insecticides and herbicides. Zero weeds. Effective use of nutrients and water saving, etc. Unlike traditional farming, no need to go through the process of land preparation, soil test, addition of organic matter, ploughing, propagation, thinning, irrigation, weeding, mulching, pest and disease control. With all the benefits of the stack model over traditional farming, one key factor is versatility, the ability to set up green centers virtually anywhere, any place, and at any scale. The stack model is highly automated and solar powered to meet our demand for low energy. The use of LEDs allows us to grow 33% faster and 24/7 all year round. Our aim is a greenhouse with a net zero carbon footprint.
Using lettuce as a case study, here are the total required cost to run the stack system and the outstanding profit returns. In comparison of this to traditional farming, the returns are massive. This comparison was done using a small-scale 10-foot square room and an acre of land both ways for both systems. From small-scale community farms to large-scale industrial outfits, the benefits of employing a system like this are enormous. We can produce more with less. Goal 2 of the 17 SDGs highlighted by the UN is zero hunger. Overpopulation, pollution, erosion, the overuse of fertilizers, coupled with the effects of global warming and projections for a growing population, it is clear that we need to increase the quantity, quality, and efficiency of how we produce. Our system can be deployed in urban areas, significantly reducing transportation costs and spoilage by bridging the gap from farm to table. With up to 90% water savings and 10 times the productivity of traditional farms, it is clear that the future of agriculture is stacks.
Well, I hope to see a very large amount of farmland without soil. That's what Team Stark is telling us here. Let's hear what the judges have to ask this team, because I'm super blown away. Mrs. Rabi, what do you have to ask this team?
Thanks for the presentation, team. This was another great presentation. I had two questions. One is around the commercial usability of this. That was not clear from the presentation. And then there was a lot of technical aspect of the product itself and the solution itself, but it would be interesting to know from the current production that we have or in Nigeria today, if everybody was using, or a subset of the people were using this technology or this solution, what is the effect of production? Is it 3x? And what is the quantum of the production currently?
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Deepo. I'm sure you have questions for them.
Yes, I do. Just one question. I think it's a great prototype. How do they intend to scale and produce in large quantities to feed the nation?
All right, Mr. Uche, what do you have to ask this team, Team Starks?
Hi, this is a great presentation. I think that agriculture and food are one of the biggest challenges in the world today. And so I think it's phenomenal that you guys are working on this problem. And agroponics tends to be one of the big solutions out there. So the fact that you guys are putting it together with all of these additional technology in order to ensure quality, I think that's phenomenal. So I have three questions. First is sort of on the business side. What, if any, is there a potential for reoccurring revenue? It seems like there might be an opportunity here for people to sort of continually pay into your business model. And I was wondering, had you guys thought of recurring revenue as sort of being a way you can continually make money off of this product? Two, education and support. In general, people don't have a natural knowledge of hydroponics. And so understanding how to get it up and running, when to know when something goes wrong, how to keep the quality of the food you're growing high, and things like that, I think might require a lot of education and support throughout the process. How do you guys intend to handle this? And final question is ensuring power consistency. You guys talked a lot about sensors and monitoring, lights and heating, recycling the water using a pump. All this is going to require energy. How do you propose, as part of your system, ensuring that there's consistent energy so that there isn't really a disruption in the production of food? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uche. Let's listen to Mr. Ade Ulufeko. So what would you like to ask the team that just presented their ideas?
Hi, Team Stacks. Great presentation. And to my co-judge, Uche, he took the question right out of my mouth. So you spoke about LED lights that helps plant grow. And my own question is, with the inconsistency of power, how do you measure that? There's some, who are the consumers? What education do you plan to give them on when this inconsistency happens? Then the second thing is there's a conflict now. Everybody who's in the African diaspora or in Nigeria knows there's a conflict between farmers and herdsmen. Now, maybe I just missed who the target audience or who the target market is, but these are factors where you would have to put that, just put those factors into play when entering the market right before scale or anything like that, because you can scale the product and run into roadblocks. Lastly, you talked about transportation. Have you spoken to any of the local players like Halogen or any of the security companies who are all over the country who can provide some type of insights to, I guess, pathways of how to get from point A to point B? That's all I have, and I hope the questions are clear. And I look forward to hearing from Team Stacks again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's listen to Mrs. Akibe. Ma'am, what questions do you have for them?
Okay, another fantastic presentation. Very excited. Food security is something that is really topical and very important in the world, and particularly Nigeria right now. The question I have, so I have two questions. Question number one is, who's the actual market? I didn't really get that. So are you Team Stacks, are you targeting other existing farmers to provide a more efficient model? Or are you talking to people who would be farmers to say, okay, here's where you can start? I mean, then who else are you partnering with? Because agriculture is really very topical in the country right now. There are many agri loans, and in fact, there are loans that the central bank is giving to full-time staff, who want to set up farms on the side, this would be an excellent way for them to do that. So are you targeting any of such things? But as I said, most importantly, who exactly is the market? That didn't really come out clearly. So if they can please clarify that would help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And finally, let's listen to Mrs. Akibe. Now, what would you like to ask?
I think you mean someone else. I just asked the question.
I beg your pardon. Mrs. Badamosi.
Okay. Hi. All right. Good presentation. I love the innovation behind this product. Really, really good one. But I think very similar to the last judge, and most of the judges actually, I'm not really clear as to exactly who the target audience of this product is, because in the very beginning, you spoke about cost, about the fact that a lot of people have to take loans right now for the regular farms. And with hydroponics, I'm guessing the reason you said that is that they wouldn't have to. So what is the real cost to the farmer? Also, it's quite a tech savvy invention. So the next question that I have is, how do you intend to educate the traditional farmers on how to use it? And is it something that is pretty simple and basic to use? Because it didn't look like it was from the video that you showed. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That and just the cost versus traditional farming, so that it can be clear to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Badamosi. I'm sure Team Stacks has listened to all the questions that has been asked by all the judges. So we'll be listening to the final team among the finalists. They are from Copenhagen University. Let's hear and watch the video as they pitch their ideas from Team Search.
Last year, through our relentless innovation, we created PAADC, a social enterprise that focuses on reducing plastic waste by converting plastics into PET bricks, while simultaneously building a waste management culture in our community.
Nigeria, a country with significant history, a nation of beautiful contrast, home to diverse cultures and languages, a land rich in nature, color, music, and food. Sadly, our beautiful nation is faced continuously with cases of periodic floods due to heavy rains with no escape routes as a result of blocked drainages.
On research, we realized that these drainages were blocked with 91% of plastic materials. At first glance, we thought plastic was the problem. However, further research revealed that indiscriminate plastic waste disposal was the real issue, as only 9% of plastics has ever been recycled since inception.
We carried out a needs assessment in our local community, Adodota, and from our assessment, we realized that the residents of this community were grossly affected by environmental degradation caused by indiscriminate plastic waste disposal. We came to a conclusion that a system was needed where plastic never become waste.
Our solution is PAADC, a social enterprise focused on transforming single-use plastics and nylon waste combined with sand into sustainable building materials that are cost-effective and durable. The first of our product line is the interlocking brick. Its production process begins with melting waste plastics at a temperature of 260 degrees Celsius using our PET liquefier machine. After this, sand is integrated at a predetermined ratio to improve fire resistance and overall compressive strength. This mixture is heated and stirred to a composite mix, which is poured in a unique design mode that separates our PET bricks from others and adds to its overall aesthetics value.
PAADC Bricks became a registered business with Corporate Affairs Commission, which created employment opportunities for low-income earners and unemployed youths in our communities.
Our bricks were accredited by the Standard Organization of Nigeria because, aside its aesthetics, it exceeded quality standards. It also possesses a production rate 4 times higher compared to the conventional bricks. Moving forward, we laid 400 PET bricks in our institution, Copenhagen University.
We created a cheaper and faster product than the standard concrete brick. Here is the analysis. In terms of cost, The price of a square meter of the most economical interlocking brick stands at 2,500 naira. Taking into consideration the price of sand, cement, the cost of transportation, and labor. For our PET brick, the cost incurred in the production includes sand, labor, and energy, crashing down the price to 2,350 naira for a square meter interlocking, cutting down the cost of providing roads with interlocking bricks by 35%. In terms of the rate of production, it takes 28 days for curing and storage before the concrete blocks can be used. While for the PET brick, the curing time is 7 days. For every measure of concrete block produced to be used in 28 days, PET brick will have a production rate 4 times higher than that of concrete brick and block within that time frame.
We partnered with the Waste Management Board, local restaurants, and independent suppliers to establish a sustainable waste collection process.
Our new machine can now produce an average of 75 PET per batch, a 27.12% increase from the former.
We went further and mounted aesthetic yet functional waste bins in strategic locations such as bus stops and restaurants to encourage plastic recycling in our environment. This collection source has provided us with over 360 kilograms of plastic waste.
We met with the Lagos State Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment and the Ministry of Science and Technology, where we showcased our product. We also obtained their support to retrieve large amounts of plastic waste from the environment. Here is a testimony from the Permanent Secretary affirming his interest in our work.
The entire project is based on the theme of World Environment Day, Pitch the Plastic. The entire thing that you have done is reducing the amount of plastics in our environment, especially on the water bodies and all whatnot, and also making use of them, in a productive way.
We were also featured on Arise News and This Day's newspapers, with a total of over 511,000 viewers reached. We were opportune to pitch our business to the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Nigeria, who pledged our unwavering support. Also, the United Nations Development Programme has decided to partner with us, thereby aiding in the fulfillment of our goals.
We recruited 153 women who work as campus cleaners in our university into our circle of independent suppliers of plastic waste for our collection system.
In our production system, we've hired 5 individuals. They handle the sorting of the plastic waste before production, the operation of the machines in batches to produce interlocking bricks, and the management of the goods received and produced.
We have sold and laid 1,400 PET bricks, eradicating 430 kilograms of plastics from drainages and minimized the cost of building roads by 35%.
In the next 1 year, we'll fabricate 3 more production machines to increase our production capacity and expand our revenue model by leasing the machine to local brick manufacturers whom we met with and secured these of patronage. We would also establish 3 production centers in 3 other southwestern states of the country, making us a revenue of 3 million naira with a profit of 1,075,388 naira. Meanwhile, providing jobs to 200 people in our production and collection systems.
Thank you very much, Team Edge from Copenhagen University. Judges, I'm sure you have questions. Let's start with Mr. Diko Faulkner.
Thank you very much. I have 2. One, it's the financial model is not clear to me. They talk about how much they've used to create what they've created, but the financial model is not clear. Second is what are the plans to expand this initiative beyond their local environment into the greater extent of Nigeria and potentially outside Nigeria. Excellent presentation, I must say.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Baramosi, what do you have to ask Team Sage?
I was actually hoping that you wouldn't call on me next because I've seen them present before at a previous competition and I really like the product. However, I do have just a quick question that I don't know about already. I was going to ask them how much time before replacement. So what is the factor of wear and tear on this product versus the typical interlocking blocks that we use? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's listen to Mr. Olufeko.
Questions I have is, maybe I missed it. What does PET stand for? What does that acronym stand for? And then we showed a very good infographics on the cost comparison. what are the guarantees with the cost compared to regular bricks, especially with the devaluation of the naira? We know that the naira is going to keep getting devalued, but I don't know when it's going to stop. But what are the guarantees? And then I wanted to commend the registration of your group. I believe that shows loyalty beyond this competition. It means that you guys are going to stay in touch and work on this, even if you move to different careers. I think that's commendable. And for the international space, I see that you're working with I believe the UN or somewhere else. I think that's great. It'd be good to know what type of partnership that is in detail. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's listen to Mrs. Rabiu. Ma'am, what questions do you have for Team Search?
I would focus on one question around the customers for this bricks. There was a lot to do with the waste and the solution from the waste perspective, but in terms of the customers for the bricks, it wasn't very clear. I believe is builders and commercial builders and stuff, but how do you convert them from what they use today? And how commercializable is this product in terms of in large quantities and in production?
All right, thank you very much. Let's listen to Mr. Uche. Mr. Uche, what questions do you have for Team Search?
Hey, this was a great presentation. This was definitely a great product. You're taking something that we throw out and sort of creating new value out of it. And also, the environment's a very, very big topic all around the world today. And so creating a solution that addresses some of the problems we're dealing with in the environment is perfect. So kudos to the good work. So I have 3 questions, small questions. First, in your presentation, you said there are no transport costs for the bricks. I want to understand more about how that's possible. I understand that they likely weigh less, but no transport cost seems magical a little bit. Second question is, it seems like the use case is to build roads or to build driveways. And I was wondering, are there other use cases for these bricks? When you think about the tension and the compression they're going to experience, you think about the temperature changes, the humidity, the flooding, things of that nature. Are there other cases where these will actually stand up over time? And last question is, considering end of life and reuse for these bricks, I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but in your presentation, you said plastic should never go to waste. And so it got me thinking, when these bricks are sort of fully used, is there a model by which you can actually get more revenue by sort of taking these bricks and somehow breaking them down or reusing them, or some other way so the bricks themselves don't end up in a landfill somewhere? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ocho. Let's listen to Mrs. Akibe. What would you like to ask Team Search?
Okay, fantastic presentation again. I really love the fact that they've actually started doing something. They've started implementing a solution, which is really, commendable. And they've done some groundwork, so they actually have a minimum, viable product. One of the things that didn't really come out clearly, because it sounds like there are actually 2 products. So there's the waste recycling, and then there's the bricks, right? So how do you manage both? What's the revenue model for the waste recycling, and how do you convert that to a sustainable revenue model for the bricks? And then what's the marketing strategy? Because you have like 2 streams, so you need to have one way to market, your recycling, which is what's going to provide the input, and then the actual bricks, right? And that's the reason I'm asking that. Is the question is, how would that now feed into scale? How do you scale up? So it's all well and good if you have, in particular, fixed environment, and you have, I think they've been said about 400 kilograms or thereabouts. But if you look at the issues we have in terms of plastic is in the thousands of tons. So how are you able to scale that up, and what size of the market are they actually looking to get? So those are the questions I have, but really fantastic solution.
Thank you very much. You've heard it from our judges, all the team. The teams have presented fantastically, and we hope that they are prepared with their response to the questions that the judges have asked. You're going to be given 3 minutes individually as a team to answer these questions later on very soon. And there's going to be a timer showing on the screen, and immediately we're going straight to the giveaway session. So if you're not something for you on our platforms, but first of all, I'll be asking the questions. We did a giveaway yesterday and we had a couple of winners. I'll also be announcing the winners from yesterday, but let's go straight to today's giveaway. So I have 2 questions. What you have to do is to respond on the YouTube live comment section. All right, now the first and correct answer is going to be contacted and you're definitely going to be winning the cash prize. Now the first question is, are you ready to grab your keypads? Because here it goes. What year was YouTube founded and who is the current CEO of YouTube? That's the first question. So let the answers keep rolling in right now. Question again is, what year was YouTube founded and who is the current CEO of YouTube? All right, so there's like 2 more questions together. So you just have to comment and send your answer. The correct answer, the first correct answer would be contacted. All right, I have another question. So get your keypads ready. Are you ready? Second question. If you've been a fan of PAADC right from the inception, probably even if you're not there from the inception, you've been following up on PAADC, I feel like this might not really be tasking for you, but it will be tasking. So the question is, you're supposed to tell us this is the 4th edition, so you're supposed to tell us all the presidents, all the chairmen of PAADC from the 1st edition till this year. So that's from PAADC 1, 2, 3, and this year's one. Okay, so drop your answers on the comment section right now, and if you have the correct answer, you will be contacted. The first question again is, who is the founder of YouTube and who is the current CEO of YouTube? The second question is, who list the 4 chairmen of PAADC from the 1st edition, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. All right. Now, secondly, the second giveaway will come back after this short break. Stay with us. This is PAADC. Don't forget to follow us on the social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at PAADC_official. We'll be right back. My name is JB Akins. Time, I'd like to say one more time, I'd like to say a big thank you to all our sponsors, from Kawaii Technology to Ab Originals, Tangerine Lifestyle, Platform Capital Local TV, the Afara Initiative, Visual Collaborative, and finally Sahara Group. Thank you so much, and also thank you to the team of PAADC and also to the Faculty of Engineering, University of Lagos. Now, yesterday we did a raffle draw for the first 50 people that registered for this year's Professor Ayodele Awujobi Design Competition. Now we're going to be doing another raffle draw right now, but this is centered on the second set of 50 people. That's from 51 to 100. So if you have your number, you might just be the lucky winner. We're going to be having a raffle draw right now to select just one winner from 51 to 100. Let's check it out. The raffle draw starts now. And the winner is number 83. Okay, so if that's your number, all you have to do is to send your number as an email, respond to the email you got from PAADC, and you will be contacted on how you win, gets the cash prize. Number 83 Yesterday was number 4, today number 83. You're definitely going to win something. All you have to do is go back to your email where you got a response from PAADC and text the number 83. We would know it is your number. So just do that quickly, and we're definitely going to contact you now. You would get the cash prize. Yesterday we had 2 winners for the giveaway for the questions we asked. I'll just be answering the questions. We asked that what team won the first PAADC, what dates, and what team it is. It was on the 14th of July 2017, and the team that won that year was Team Mufasa. Absolutely great job from them, and we'll continue to remember them as they break in the chain of the maiden edition as the winners of PAADC. And the second question is, the answer is Elon Musk made electric cars. So that's the answer for yesterday's question. Now, I'm not going to answer today's question, so be hoping that your comments are there, and definitely go to contact you if you have the right answer. Right about now, we're going to be listening to the teams respond to the questions that the judges have asked. We're going to be starting off with the first team. Please do not forget you have just 3 minutes to answer this question. There's going to be a timer showing on the screen, and immediately you have 1 second left. Please stop, or else we will mute your microphone. You just have 3 minutes. The first team that would be responding to questions that the judges asked is Team Eden. Team Eden, are you ready? Team Eden, I'd like you to respond. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay, Team Eden is from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Your time starts now.
Okay, our competitors in the market. We have competitors like Lagos Waste Management Authority, Recyclers and Street Waste Company Limited. Other funding opportunities. We plan on partnering with Lagos Innovate and going green recycling company in order to get funding for our project. In the long run, once green has become more popular, we are sure of more investment opportunities, even from foreign companies. What is the use of our app? Our app is very effective in tracking smart waste bins. It also has a blockchain wallet that helps individuals to collect and accumulate waste coins. Also, the app also helps us reach a wide range of individuals, since about 87% of Nigerians have mobile phones. Now, what are these waste coins? The waste coins are points that will be rewarded to our clients for proper recycling. Waste coin is an ICO, and just like other ICOs that work with the blockchain technology, it increases in value the more people use them and over time. Now, imagine, why would anyone want to buy our smart waste bins? There is a lot to gain. We plan on partnering with Recycle Point. Recycle Point is a recycling company that has an online market where recycle points can be exchanged for money and household items. Imagine Black Friday in the recycling world. We'll call it Green Friday, where recycle points like our waste coins can be exchanged for cheap and high quality products like household items and even money during festive periods or other exciting periods. People who are sold up on waste coins will definitely want to use this opportunity to get lots of goodies for themselves. Our business model is very simple. We sell smart waste bins, we get money. We sell recycling materials to recycling companies, we get money. Businesses pay us to advertise on our app, we get money. Feasibility of Green Dream. Green Dream is very feasible. From all I've said, it is very obvious that it will survive in the Nigerian market. Trajectory of our project. This is also known as Project 2023. We are looking forward to seeing a future Nigeria where everyone has smart waste bins, where every household recycles with Green Dream and is actively participating in the recycling process. As long as people continue to exist and continue to produce waste, we will continue to get our profits. This is the Green Dream. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Team Eden. You seem to be very time conscious. We appreciate you for adhering strictly to the time. We'll be moving forward to listening to the judges to give their final response to your pitch, and they are also going to be advising everything immediately respond to the questions. So I would like to start with Mr. Dikbo Faulkner. I'm sure you have an advice for this idea that Team Eden has pitched today. What will be your advice for them going forward, regardless if they get to win or not?
I think recycling is always going to be a good initiative for us, as a nation and as a people. For me, they need to look at the cost of the assets. They need to look at their funding model and ensure that our funding model is right. They need to look at the sources of funding. There are quite a lot of sources of funding out there and grants that will help improve on their research and the ability to launch the product into the market without all of the hassles they've got to go through, at this point in time. And they need to look at that. And they should please do a feasibility study before they launch. That's my advice to Team Eden.
Thank you very much. Let's listen to Mrs. Badamosi. Ma'am, what would be your advice to Team Eden, regardless of whether they win or not? What's your advice? After responding to the questions you asked, what would you advise them?
Okay, very similar to the last judge, I would say the exact same thing. And I would say very, very well done to you guys for what you've done. Very innovative, very, very much needed, and keep going regardless of what happens. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Uche, over to you.
Hey, can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah,
okay. I like to say this is a great idea, and I think you guys have really thought it through. I appreciate sort of all the work that went into it, as well as the ideas around how to sort of bring in revenue. My one thing I'm going to respond with is when you do launch, or as you prepare to launch, think about your reoccurring costs between the maintenance of the recycling bins as well as the collection. I didn't hear too much about the details around that, but I think with experience, there's going to be a recognition of sort of how those costs play into your overall profit. So consider that very heavily as you guys launch, but kudos and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Let's listen to Mr. De Olufeko's word.
Hi, Team Eden. Fantastic invention, presentation. Just like the other judges, I'll just say keep it up. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Akibe.
As the others have said, well done. Keep going, because you are actually solving a real problem. But I'll just recommend that from a business perspective, just to pay attention to the step-by-step. So don't try and do everything at the same time. If you're going to start off with the assets, focus on getting the assets in place, get your working cycle in place, and then look at your revenue models and getting people, the agents they're going to use. So start with that first, because each one is a business stream. Getting the people on board is a business stream, and then actually selling the assets is a business stream. So you need to pay attention to both of them so that you can make sure you're not trying to do too many things at the same time and you don't lose track. So, but as I said, very well done. You're actually solving a real problem. So there are many areas you can partner. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To Mrs. Rabiu, what do you have to say to Team Eden? Mrs. Rabiu?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. I was saying that this is actually a much needed initiative. Thank you for the solution option for the sector. And I would just echo the business model again, how you grow, what is going to be your growth trajectory, what areas are you going to focus on, and what would this business look like in 5 years? I think that just has to be well thought out.
Thank you very much. You heard her. She's talking about the future projection of your business idea. Let's listen to the next team as they respond to all the questions that the judges have asked them earlier on. Let's move over to Tim Alexa. Tim Alexa, are you ready? I need you to listen. Ready. Tim Alexa, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you have 3 minutes. Your team.
Yes, we're ready.
All right, you
All right. So on the first question about the addressable market, well, due to the poor statistic that we have in Nigeria, we don't really have much on the addressable market currently. But from the research that we did, we found out that a lot of students fail JAMB yearly. A lot of visually impaired students fail JAMB yearly because they don't have the right implements. So we believe when we partner with NGOs like MTN Foundation, Center for Citizens with Disabilities, we're going to reach, our accessible market. Then about the costs of maintaining a Perkins Braille, well, a Perkins Braille is much of a typewriter, so you need to lubricate, you need to change some parts when they get faulty. So you can get to using 50,000, 100,000 to maintain the Perkins Braille. And the end of the life of a Perkins Braille is within the range of 5 to 10 years. And about the longevity of our device, the longevity of our device is like up to 4 or 5 years because it's an electronic device. And we are trying to make the casing and the materials we're going to use to make it very durable, and they'll be able to withstand a lot of stress and a lot of hits and crashes and all of that. And concerning our kind of research, well, we've met with a lot of hubs recently, and we've pitched our ideas to them, and they've given them our reviews. And we also appreciate you guys for your reviews so far. And on securing funding, we've not been able to secure much of funding so far, but we attended a symposium for the International Day of People Living with Disabilities recently, and we got a lot of good reviews from them as well. So about local competitors, the research we've done so far, we've not seen anyone doing something like this in Nigeria or Africa at large. But we don't know if we have, the ones we know are outside of Africa, but currently we don't have any local competitors. And about testing with the visually impaired, well, we only have a prototype, as we could all see from our video. We don't have an MVP yet. We started working on it before the pandemic started, but we couldn't really move on fast. We got in touch with the 3D and PCB designs, and before the corona pandemic ends, we would get it, and we'll test it with the visually impaired. We've not tested it yet. And forming partnership with NGOs, as I stated earlier, we're planning to partner with Center for Citizens with Disabilities and MTN Foundation. And we'll test for feasibility when we get our minimum viable product, which we're already in talks with the producer about. And once again, we want to thank you for your reviews on the product so far. So those are the answers to the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Elixir, for adhering to the time. We really appreciate your sincerity and your contributions. Let's listen to Mrs. Rabiu. What would you advise Team Elixir to do to better their work, and what would you have to say to them, regardless of the fact that they win or not?
Yeah, I mean, again, can you hear me? Just making sure. Okay. They've done great work. I think the one advice I'll give them is, again, around production, where they intend to produce this product and how would that affect their cost base. Because again, they've not done much around that. So I'll tell them to take a look at that as well.
All right, thank you very much. Let's listen to Mr. Dipo Faulkner. What will you have to say to them, sir?
For this team, it's about usability and functionality of the product itself. It's something they need to focus some attention on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uche.
Hey, I think this is a great idea that you guys are working towards. I think that the market is very specific, and I think that the idea is very specific. I like how the device is exactly the same as the original for the user, so the use case, or at least learning, doesn't necessarily end up being something that's terribly challenging for them to transition from one to the other. Because cost is a strong selling point, I would suggest considering moving much of the technical ability that's housed in the device into either the operating system or the mobile device that it's actually connecting to, in order to reduce the cost of production and maybe even reduce the price on the product itself. I think that could sort of enable you guys to be a little bit more consistent when it comes to delivering a product. but also deliver a product that is far less expensive than some of the competitors you guys put out there. But otherwise, I think it's a phenomenal idea, and I think you guys have done a great job.
All right, thank you very much. Let's hear what Mrs. Akibe has to say to them.
Again, it's fantastic. I like the fact that you're really trying to fix a real problem. My strong suggestion would be, and I appreciate the fact that this, trying to work on a pandemic situation and the distancing and what have you, but my very, very strong suggestion would be find someone who can actually test this with, because when you get that, it is clear that you have a usable product and that will speak for itself. You actually have an ambassador, so it goes beyond the testing phase. You can see that when someone sees that something works, it sells itself. So I would strongly suggest that once you have a prototype, find someone you can test it with, and then see whatever else it is you can make, and then start pushing. So that would be the suggestion I make in addition to what everyone else has said. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olufeko.
Yes, great product. I'd say keep up the confidence, and I look forward to seeing the developments of this. Just tagging on to everything the judges have said, specifically focus on the prototype. That's all I have. Thank you.
And finally, Mrs. Baramosi.
Okay, well done to the team. And I have nothing else to add. I think the judges have said it all. So well done, guys. Keep going.
All right, thank you very much. We're moving straight to the third team, still from the University of Ibadan. Let's listen to Team Unite as they share their ideas. Don't forget to please comment and share them up on the comment section right now. You have 3 minutes. Team Unite, are you there?
Yes, we are ready.
Are you ready?
Yes, we are. We are ready.
You have 3 minutes and your time starts now.
On the question about sourcing curriculum from Mr. Dikko Faulkner, our first set of tutors would be targeted. What this means is we'll go after credible tutors and get them on our platform, and those individuals would have industry knowledge to set curriculum. We'd also check and balance this with the data sets from our research. On the question on how the courses are standardized and how we plan to get accredited, we understand this, and so we plan to have professionals and top firms in the industry assess our course content and validate them. That way, the credibility of our certificates will already be recognized by professionals and top firms, even before we launch our product to market.
On whether we did prototype testing and
all right, on why we did prototype testing and what we changed after the prototype testing. All right, originally we were going to get it us and set up the online platform, but we did our market research and found out that the amount of people learning online was ridiculously low, even though they had access to these materials. We prototyped and partnered with students and UI associations. We came to understand that people found it difficult to understand how different courses related to their careers, how relevant a career was locally, and whether or not the demands of the industry for that field has changed. That's where we got the idea to build an AI platform that will track courses and careers to help users automatically know the demands of any career and learn accordingly. We built our high fidelity prototype and got a conversion rate of 60%. Now, where do we get our data sets from, and how do we plan to update them? Our strategies include partnership with online recruitment platforms, crowdsourcing data by using pseudo web apps that help people interact and collect data, help us collect data, and target specific companies with surveys to gather specific data. The data set would be built in 2 to 3 quarters of the first year. We will maintain our data set by partnering with recruitment platforms and integrating a data collection strategy into the service lifecycle of the product, so that the product continuously collects data that will be used by the deep learning model. About our competitions, how are we better than our competitions? Other systems like Udacity recommend courses by identifying users with similar tastes and offer suggestions to other users. We are different from our competitors as we allow users to know which careers are lucrative and best for them in the Nigerian market before they begin to learn. Also, the AI intuitively knows what each user skills are, so it suggests the best course for that user in this career. Then our AI monitors industry space, so if employers or professionals are tilting in direction, the platform changes so that users can keep pace with the industry. Now, how long are the courses going to be? Depending on the curriculum of each course, It could range from 1 to 3 months. Then are we targeting a specific industry? No, the platform will start with a wide array of courses and careers, and we plan to expand the catalog as we scale. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Unite. You were just right on time. We'd like to listen to what the judges have to say. I'd like to start with Mr. Debo Hopkinson. What would you say to Team Unite?
Okay, excellent idea and great presentation. A couple of points I noted for you guys. One is one can overemphasize accreditation. That's what's going to mar or make a mark success of a product. The second is to at least ensure the fit for purpose, either for higher institution or for the job market. Without you ensuring fit for purpose, then it will be a waste of everyone's time. Partnership in content creation is going to be very key, and you would expect that the content will keep evolving. So when you look at the forces impacting the business today, as well as the disruptive technologies we see in the market, they change quite rapidly, and you need to ensure that your solutions, your curriculum and content are evolving with the evolving marketplace. You need to think through what will make Nigerians want to use you as against a foreign provider, knowing that we always have a preference for foreign qualifications, foreign online education, foreign everything. So what's going to make you unique for them to want you as against foreign providers? Lastly is ongoing improvement. This is something that cannot be static. You must keep improving as you go on and on and on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dick. Well, let's listen to Mrs. Rabi. What would you say to Team Unite after the response to the questions you asked?
Yes, thank you, Tim, for exploring this problem set. And I would really urge you to look into the connection of your solution to work. And when you're looking at work, you're not looking at just the skill set needed for the work, but how, are they able to compete globally to actually secure work? Secure work is different from ready for work, right? So the only way you will have recurring revenue is if people can actually get the outcome in which they came to your platform for. So that's very important.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Mrs. Baramosi, you have anything to say?
Okay, I just want to quickly say that I think that this is a really great idea, but there's a lot of competition. So what you want to make sure that you do is that you really focus on exactly who your target audience is. So have your unique selling point and focus on it, and don't go too wide such that you're competing with people that have gone way ahead of you. Do something that's really innovative so that you can even get more and more partners. All the best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uche. What would you say to Team Unite after listening to the response to all the questions you asked?
I like this product. I like it a lot. It's near and dear to me. I think they've done a great job sort of looking at different aspects. And I think right now is sort of the time where a lot of people are moving online, and there's huge opportunity for education. I would say to them, think carefully about the market you're attempting to go into. I think the focus has been sort of competing with more traditional education, but there's also tutoring services. There's also how to do. There's a lot of people who get on YouTube to learn how to, build a wall, or I don't know. But there are other opportunities in which people sort of go online to learn different things. And if you can sort of build that into something new, there's a company out here that is called Care that teaches people how to take care of their elderly parents, just because it's something you don't necessarily know how to do, and sort of teaches them all the things they need to do. And then they build up to some degree of accreditation. And so that doesn't necessarily compete directly with education, but it's something people are really interested in doing. So just think carefully about that. Another opportunity would be employment. This could sort of be seen as an onboarding, where you take someone who has somewhat of the knowledge set and builds them into someone who can actually do the work. So if you partner with a company in order to get that done, there could be opportunity there. These are a couple of things that just sort of came to mind as you guys were giving the presentation. You guys sort of inspired me to be creative. So I want to say kudos. That was a great job.
Thank you very much. Mr. Olufeko, what do you have to say to Team Unite?
I'll just touch on foreign partnerships, definitely. And oops, here we go. Okay. Foreign partnerships and accreditation, just as Mr. Faulkner and Lara and Ms. Baramoshi have said. And then this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It has to be consistent, improvement. But yeah, wishing you guys all the best.
Thank you. Finally, Mrs. Akibe.
I'll say again, really well done. What I would say, my suggestion would be 3 things: partner, partner, partner. Find the right establishment to partner with, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a competing area. Ideally, you should be looking at something that's been offered like brick and mortar, so you're providing like the online extension for that, because that will help you bring the users on. Because if you don't do that, you're going to spend a lot of money on marketing and getting that skill, which is going to cost you pretty big. But if you're able to partner with the right alliances, get the right partnerships going on, then it's going to help you scale much faster and be consistent and be sustainable. So, but again, very well done.
Thank you very much. We will be moving to the last 2 teams as they will be responding to all the questions. So, Team Stark, are you ready? I'd like you to respond, please. Team Stark, are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Team Stark, are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay, you have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Okay, good. To reiterate and answer the questions, our model is not aimed at new and existing farmers. We aim to enter the market as a provider of high quality produce. We aim to be situated in urban centers, big cities such as Lagos, Ibadan, and so on. And now, who is our market? Our market is hotels, restaurant chains, supermarkets, and so on. We've already reached out to partners such as Shiro, Hard Rock Cafe, Mockland Group of Hotels, and so on, and we're also interested in our prototype. Now, we plan to have, like we said, a center in major cities across Nigeria, and so we can supply high quality produce to our consumers that way. For recurring revenue, our planting system allows us to harvest on a weekly basis to meet the demand for production that we have. We're looking at skilled and semi-skilled labor for our venture, such as graduates who have experience in the agricultural field, and so to empower them in that way, not necessarily through educating them on how to use the system in itself.
Okay, hi, my name is Abraham. To address Mr. Uche and Mr. Ade on the issue of technology for our power supply. For our system, we will be using the use of renewable energy, which is solar panel systems in our own system. For now, for our projection, we did a 10 by 10 foot, and the cost to be able to set up the whole stacks and the solar panels and the batteries to run 24/7 was around 1.2 million. But with our effectiveness of our hydroponic system, growing 500 heads of lettuce and selling them at 500 naira, we'll be able to generate 250,000 naira per month. Now, in contrast to traditional farming, which allow them to grow 6 times a year for lettuce, we will be able to grow 12 times a year because our product takes half the time to grow, because we are using LED lights to channel into the chlorophyll of plants that allows them to grow faster and longer. So in a year, we'll be generating 3 million, which will have already given you a return on investment from the 1.2 million you will have already invested in. And also, like my colleague already said, we don't plan to educate farmers. We are coming as a new system of farming, and we are here to empower the youth and graduates of semi-skilled and skilled of the country. And also, like I said, our target audience are hotels and restaurants, and we plan to go deep into them. And also supermarkets, we will also be supplying to them, as we said. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Edge. Thank you so much for dedicating to the time. You are just right on time. We'll be listening to the judges' response to your ideas and your pitch. Let's start with Mrs. Rabi. What do you have to say to Team Sedge? Team Starks. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. Mrs. Rabi, are you there? Okay, while we're waiting, I think there's a little bit of glitch right there. Okay, let's listen to what you have to say, Mrs. Akibe.
Right. Okay, so thanks, Team Stack, for clarifying what it is you want to do. Now, you sort of put a different twist on it now. And since you want to enter the market yourself, so I'm going to view it a little bit differently now. And then now, more than ever, you need to be very clear on who your market is, right? Because I heard you talking about youth empowerment, but at the same time, I heard you talking about, talking to hotels and things like that. People who I guess you were saying will probably want to do backward integration, meaning they're going to grow the produce they want to use. All right, so are you going to partner with vocational centers? Are you going to partner with universities or postgraduate, when I say postgraduate, after graduation type areas to provide an alternative source of employment? Are you going to partner with, I know you're in Lagos, are you going to partner with the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, for example, or other areas to give you that access to be able to reach out to this unemployed and create this avenue for employment? So again, there's two different models here. There's the creation of employment, and then there's the actual revenue for existing businesses to grow their produce. So you need to sort of like zero in on that and take advantage of existing alliances, because it will cost you too much money to try and do it on your own. But very well done. Very well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Badamosi, you have something to say?
Okay, so when you guys were answering the questions, you definitely gave a different twist from how you presented it. So I just want to recommend you and suggest that, if you ever have to present this again, and I'm sure that you would have to make sure that you're very concise in your presentation, because your actual presentation was a bit different from how you then answered the question. So your answers actually give a lot more context and perspective into what you're trying to do, which is a pretty good thing, but just make sure that your presentation does that going forward. All the best.
Thank you very much. Mr. Uche, what would you say to Team Stocks?
Hey, Team Stars, I think it's a great product. I think it's a great idea. I'm going to echo what some of the other judges have said, that your answer to the question sort of put a different spin on it, which led me to think about it a little bit differently. I think there could be an opportunity for servicing contracts. I don't know if you've considered that. An opportunity for fixing or replacing parts of the system so that it works consistently. And so I think if you're partnering with hotels or partnering with other bigger or restaurants, bigger companies, I think there could be an opportunity for them to have confidence that this will consistently work, because they're not just sort of buying a product and trying to figure it out thereafter, but they're actually paying you on a regular basis so that they maintain and upkeep the system. So great job. This is a great product.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Rabi, are you there now?
Yes, sorry about that. I went off for a minute. Thank you to the team for clarifying some of those questions. And I think I will echo some of the judges around, it seems like what you presented versus the way you've answered your question was quite different. And I think the key thing around this is this recurring revenue. And I think you have something there that you should explore further as you expand the market.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Olufeko.
Yeah, great presentation, but just like some of the other judges said, the responses are a little bit different. I think it gives more insight. I would also like to go back to the LED and power issue. I'm just going based on experience, what I've seen in the field, and intuition. I think that should be clarified, how that will be handled in an environment like ours. So, but all the best.
Thank you very much. And we will be listening to the last team right now respond to all the questions that the judges have initially asked. Are you ready, Team Sedge?
Yes, we are ready.
Team Sedge, are you ready?
Yes, we are ready.
You have 3 minutes and the time starts now.
Okay, thank you very much. So for the first question, which is what is your revenue model? And we have different revenue models. Okay, we have different revenue models. We have the marketing section, we have sales, and we have distribution of the product. So we have different models for marketing, which is sales of products. For the second question, you asked plans to expand beyond your local environment. So we are currently working closely with potential brick manufacturers which will adopt our model and enable production at different locations, which is like something like a franchise model. So currently we are working with 3 different locations, talking with 3 different people in order to expand in the next 1 year. So for the third question, you said factors of wear and tear and replacement of typical bricks when used. For that question, our PET bricks can be reused. That's one key innovation around it. You can decide to return it to our company, and we put it in the PET liquefier machine, and it melts it and creates another PET brick, which we pour into our mold. And I mean, a new PET brick has been formed, which is an innovation which cannot happen with the custom bricks in the market right now, which are made of cement. So those ones, once they wear, it's impossible to reuse, but our PET bricks can be reused. That's one innovation and key innovation around it. And like, it's more durable and more affordable than the normal PET bricks. With our tests that we got from the Standard Organization of Nigeria and from NIBRI, which is the organization in charge of constructions and all, we saw that our compressive strength is far more higher than the normal cement bricks. So for the first question, you asked them, what does PET stands for? PET stands for polyethylene. So basically, the PET project is aimed at using PET bottles and nylons to create bricks, mixture with sand in our own unique model on creating that. So the next question was, who are the customers for the bricks and how do you convert them to, who are the customers for the bricks and how do you convert them to potential buyers? Yeah. So, okay, seeing how our bricks impact the environment, like seeing the impact of the PET bricks are having on the positive impact on the environment at a larger scale and how it is more sustainable and cheaper than other alternatives, it is wise for any customer to know that our bricks are more preferential. Currently, we received an offer for partnership from a company, from a set of individuals from India on how they can adopt the PET bricks model in India. So we're currently working on that and seeing we aim to scale very large in the next 1-2 years. So the next question was, how commercializable is the product? So that's similar to the last question, which I talked about. We have plans to initiate the franchise model so as to rapidly scale our innovation to different parts of the country. Next question was, explain the zero transportation cost. So currently, we have zero transportation cost because we have PET bins at stationed at different environments, and we have women that go around to collect these bottles in the video that collect these bottles at different polyclinics. So the next question was other use cases.
Thank you very much, Team Sedge. I know you still had so many things to say, but I'm sorry your time is up. We have to be very uniform with the time given to every team. The judges will definitely have something to say, so I'd like to start with Mr. Uche. What do you have to say to Team Sedge?
I'm sorry you ran out of time, but you seem to have everything, sort of all the questions we had, you were ready to address. So I want to say thank you for that. I think this is a great idea. I think it's, turning waste into actual products, which is revolutionary. PET does not naturally break down, right? So it ends up in the environment in perpetuity. So the fact that you guys are trying to convert this into something we can reuse is very, very useful, very useful. Some final thoughts I have is there seems to be, there could be a pipeline issue when demand increases, if demand increases, where you're sort of collecting plastics and using that to produce bricks. If the demand for bricks goes up and the amount of plastics you're able to collect does not, sort of how do you plan on accounting for that? Are you looking at maybe current pollution sources of plastics that are already in the environment, gathering those somehow and putting those into the system in order to create these new bricks? Just a thought I had while you guys were presenting and while you guys were answering questions. But other than that, I think it's a phenomenal idea and I think you guys should press on.
Thank you very much. Mr. Olufeko, what do you have to say?
Okay, I guess my video's stuck. Here we go. Yeah, Team Sedge, right? Great presentation. Sorry you guys ran out of time. It looks like you had lots of responses to our questions, but I'll just say it's a great solution. It's a great idea. I think post-COVID, when things are never going to get back to normal, but it'd be good to see how the product fares and with the market fluctuations. and just strengthening the USP. That's it. So keep up. It looks like you guys have a huge support. You and Team Stacks. In the Southwest, when I was growing up, we used to say Ojoro, but fantastic solution. So keep up the great work.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olufemi. Let's listen to Mrs. Rabiu. Then what are you going to say to Team Stage?
Sorry. Yes, this is quite an innovative product. Actually, I've not seen use of plastic being turned into bricks. I thought that was fantastic. And I love the fact that it's reusable, but it goes back to the commercialization. When we run out of plastic in the water or wherever they're picking up plastic from, what are they going to do? And how are they going to protect themselves, right? At least I've not heard of this idea. So there has to be an IP related to this product. They just mentioned that they're working with someone from India. How are you protecting yourself? How are you making sure that you're getting the commercial value of what your brain has created?
Thank you very much, Mrs. Baramasi. Mrs. Baramasi, are you there?
Clearly. Was that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. Like I said earlier, I mean, this is a product that I've seen before, and I think that it's, it's extremely innovative and it's a great, great, great product, especially considering the Nigerian environment where I live as well. I know that it's something that's really needed. So well done to you guys, and I hope that you continue to, polish it, fine tune it, make it better. All the best.
All right, and finally, Mrs. Akibe, what do you have to say to them?
I think I said it's very innovative, it's an excellent solution. The only thing I would suggest is, since they mentioned that they want to go through the franchising model, that they need to make sure they can have standards in place to ensure the quality of the output, because once you're franchising, you're not under your direct control anymore. So just to pay attention to that and put in the quality controls in place so that they don't lose this USP that they put in place. But very well done.
Thank you very much to all the team members that have pitched their ideas today. We also like to especially thank all our judges. We understand that from your busy schedule, we made our time to for the PAADC, and we'd like to say thank you. We can allow you to go right now because we understand that many of you have other things to do. The winners for the team pitching today will be announced tomorrow, so there's definitely going to be a winner, but we're not announcing that today. The judges will need to collect their results, and the final result of the winner will be announced tomorrow. You remember last year, Team I from University of Ibadan won, and they were given a cash prize of 1 million naira. We don't know what the cash prize is going to be this year. I'm not going to be letting the cats out of the bag. Look forward to that, but it only gets better. That's what I have to say. I mean, PAADC 4, it will only get better. So look forward to that, fingers crossed. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. All our judges, we appreciate your timing. You can go if you have to, but if you still want to stay with us, we appreciate you. We'll go straight up right now to the social media contest. Now, for everyone watching on YouTube and all the platforms right now, you have the chance to make your favorite team go home with something. And this is what you have to do right now to show your support and show that you actually love their pitch or their ideas. All you have to do is go to a social media platform on Instagram right now. That's www.instagram.com/PAADC_official. The handle is at PAADC_official. Go on Instagram right now. Make sure you follow. There's going to be a post that shows photo collection of all the teams from Team Unite, Alexa, Starks, Sedge, and also Team Eden. Now, the teams the pictures are going to be posted on one photo. It's going to be a collection of photos. All you have to do is like and comment the name of the team you want to win the Viewer's Choice contest. All right. I'll go again. Go on our Instagram page at PAADC_official. There's going to be a post of a photo collection of all the team members. All you have to do is like and make sure you comment the name of the team you are actually rooting for and you want to win it. So if it's Team Unite, you write Team Unite. You could put a fire emoji, a thumbs up, or whatever you want, or you rock emoji. You could put whatever you want. Just make sure you follow, like, and comment. Now, here's the thing: if you're not following and you comment, you cannot. Your votes does not count. So now, the team with the highest comments, the name of the team with the highest comments gets to win the cash prize. We're not going to let the cat out of the bag. Tomorrow, we want you to come in here at the same time, same place tomorrow. All right, by 3 p.m., we're going to be announcing the winners of PAADC and the online contest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are super happy to have you stay glued to us for the past 1.5 hours. It's going to be the same time tomorrow. My name is JB Akins. It's been a fantastic one. Don't forget to follow us on the social media platform, PAADC_official. Don't forget what we stand for: to promote the ingenuity, creativity amongst undergraduates in Nigeria. It's been an amazing ride, and we'll continue tomorrow. I remember the contest shall confirm. My name is AB Akins. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night and God bless you.